good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of Dr. Mark's virtual chats. And this one actually is over a cup of coffee because it's because David tends to be more of an early bird, so he's having a chat over a cup of coffee. And I'm really pleased to welcome an old friend of mine I've known for many years, David Southern. So, hey, David, how's it going?
It's going really well, Mark. Thank you very much. Nice to speak to you.
Yeah, it's a very wild and blustery autumnal day here.
Yeah, same here. Not so nice. We got into autumn in a flick of a switch, didn't we?
Yeah, you're right, we did. So I'm really pleased to have David here, and he's a very busy man. I've got just a couple of questions that we're going to get his views on, and the first one really is like I've been asking most of the people over these virtual chats is how have you been working with your client family during this sort of stop-start, I suppose, process we've been faced with through the pandemic?
So I'm going to split it into two, this answer. I think existing clients online has been absolutely brilliant. We've just all chugged on, no difference at all. Projects have gone brilliantly. You know, they've loved it. We've loved it. It's working really well because we've got an existing relationship. New clients, it's a lot slower. So we have one business actually online, but yeah, it's a lot slower because you can't get that initial face-to-face reaction from someone, which I think is so important. So yeah, so I would split that into two. New existing clients, brilliantly, they love it, it's working well. New clients, a bit more hard work.
Great. So for those out there that don't know anything about you are actually in the thick of this whole process, being in the sort of the medical field. So yeah, it's quite interesting to get your perspective really on how you see this going forward, David, because we've had to adapt and change really quickly to what's happened, and some people have seen transformation projects that they thought were going to take 5 years come to realization in 2 months. So how do you see this, you know, as we move out of the crisis into recovery? What do you see changing and becoming, not the new normal, but the way that we're going to work going forward?
Yeah, it's a horrid phrase, new normal.
No, yeah. I know.
So won't use that. So yeah, so within healthcare, change had to happen, and it had to happen very quickly. A lot of it has happened in primary care with GPs, and it's really interesting, isn't it? I was talking to someone yesterday, and we're talking about sort of digital transformation. Actually, the biggest tool that's been used with GPs is the good old telephone, right? So they pick up the telephone to talk to patients and ask them questions, and if they need to see you, they'll call you in, and you know, if they need to touch you, you know, to make sure that you're okay, that's what they'll do. But it's been the telephone, not much video conferencing going on and that sort of stuff. However, there is a definite move in sort of patients with more chronic conditions, so long-term conditions where they really do need to stay away from hospitals, they need to stay away from practices. There has been a definite move to develop proper digital solutions that connect patients and doctors together and give information, and that has started to jump forward, and that I think offers, not that the telephone doesn't, but that offers genuine benefits to patients with chronic disease. So that is moving, but it is it's a very complex thing to get involved in.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem, so this is the biggest thing, the biggest problem is connectivity. Okay, so I was watching one of those dreaded webinars the other day, and the Microsoft lady came on board, and it's going to take someone like Microsoft, Amazon, Google to come in and create that base connectivity that is guaranteed, safe, secure, patient data. So organisations or different parts of the NHS or different parts of healthcare can easily talk to other parts of healthcare. So there are some challenges, but it is happening, and we're going forward. It's inevitable. That sort of digital transformation, it's inevitable. In the next 5 years, I am sure we will be there.
Yeah. So, but David, one of the key things, I suppose, is how do we bring everybody on that journey? Because there's some people, well, just won't believe, or they won't trust the fact that you're able to diagnose me effectively or treat me effectively, through some picture that's coming over my mobile phone
so it's interesting,
or through a Zoom. I could just imagine people holding their PC to shine on bits of them to see, are you getting this, doctor?
You're straying into AI, artificial intelligence there. And it's really interesting. There are already systems in place that can outperform consultants in diagnosis of disease. So particularly retinal pictures, looking at age-related macular degeneration, those sorts of diseases. The computer's better than the human, and I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be very similar, say, in breast cancer, mammograms, all those sorts of things. Computers can do it better than people, but then there always will have to be that human interaction after that initial diagnosis. So it's never going to be, I don't think anyway, just the computer's decision. That will then get referred back into whoever's looking after you, and they're going to confirm that and start looking after you in the normal way. But there will definitely be those sorts of diagnosis pieces going on. With your mobile phone, believe it or not,
yeah,
you can already take a picture of the retina. So it's already available, and it's all going to happen, no doubt about it.
So do you think going forward that we're going to be having some sort of blended approach?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because one of the key for me as well is that suddenly the whole need to go to A&E at the drop of a hat switched off, didn't it? So
there is I mean, I agree with you. There's a sort of alternative. Lots of people shouldn't have been there. That's the first thing, and there was that, that repeated argument that, we just, especially a Friday and Saturday nights, people got themselves into stupid situations and got themselves into A&E. Of course, that has largely stopped, but there's lots of people that should be there as well.
Yeah.
So had a stroke, had a heart attack. Those people haven't started, and that is a legacy that we will pick up probably going forward. But in terms of blended, absolutely, there needs to be, and what the technology offers is efficiency, and it offers more capability to do more work. It cannot replace the human interaction, doctor-patient interaction, which will always be there.
Great. Okay. Hey, well, that was really good to catch up, and I think this is one of those subjects that's really fascinating, and I might come back to you again for another virtual chat, probably over a cup of tea, because I'm more an afternoon person than a morning person, David, but we could pick up and see actually if some of what we've just been talking about comes to fruition. That would be really useful and brilliant to catch up with you. I haven't seen you face to face for must be nearly a year now, but I'm looking forward to that again, because it's always sparks a lot of energy and great ideas and creativity. So go well.
Thanks, Mark. I'll see you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.